Hello racing fans and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best, bet with WSB. I trust that you all are well, maybe having a fair week punting on WSB, wherever you're punting in the world, be it horse racing, be it sports, be it lucky numbers, whatever you're playing, even if you're playing the casino on WSB. Hopefully everything's going according to plan. Well, this weekend it is a double header. We race at Kenilworth on Saturday and then we move along to Turffontein on Sunday. I've picked out 5 horses to follow. 2 come up on Saturday, 3 come up on Sunday, and as we know, it's a busy week leading up to the World Sports Betting Cape Met in what is going to be a week's time, and we wish our sponsor all the best in the lead up to the race. Let's begin with our 5 to follow, and it begins early in race number 2 on Saturday, which is at Kenilworth, and I'm going for the obvious horse in the race. Her name is Sharapova. She was tipped on the show a few meetings back, and unfortunately she was scratched. Well, she's back again, and she made a very promising introduction or debut in Cape Town, which was over the course and distance. She just found one better on the day. It was Andre Nell's runner called Rafif Choice that came to win. Well, that form line is held up okay, with Allende from the Brett Crawford stable coming through to win the maiden. And when I have a look at the opposition in the race, there are some horses that I think will improve, but in black and white, I personally feel that if she can just repeat her last start, and I'm certain that she would have come on, that was in early December, on the 3rd of December to be exact, that she ran. They've given her the time off, and she's obviously, I don't know what was the reason that she was scratched last time out, but hopefully they've given her a bit of extra time to recover from whatever the issue was, and I think that she'll be spot on. Against this type of field, I think she's a deserving favorite, and whatever beats her will win. Race 2, number 7, Sharapova. We then move along to race number 7, just the 2 horses, and this is a feature on the day. It's a Politician Stakes, Group 3 over 1800 meters. It is for 3-year-olds, and when you have a look at the best weighted column, well, At My Command is an absolute standout compared to his rivals here, but some will say, well, he is giving the entire field weight, even though he's tops the best weighted column, and we'll see how true his new mark is. I say his new mark because after his tremendous run when 3rd to Charles Dickens in the Guineas, he was pushed up from a 109 to a 114. Now, his wins have been over what they've been over. He's won over 1250, he's won twice over 1400 meters, and he's run well over 1600 meters as well. I pulled out the log for the 3-year-olds. When I say the log, from top to bottom, how they are rated. Of course, Charles Dixon is an absolute standout, the champion 3-year-old. He's at a 132. Union Square's at a 116, Cousin Casey's at a 115, and then joint fourth on the log is Shoemaker, Thunderstruck, and this horse, At Your Command. At My Command. I keep saying At Your Command. It's At My Command. This is Brett Crawford's runner. Now, if you take out Charles Dickens, from that log, who is an absolute star, an absolute champion 3-year-old, if you just remove him from that log, it's quite tight amongst the other 3-year-olds, and then personally I think he's one of the leading lights in the country, this horse, At My Command. And when it comes to his form, well, I mentioned that in the Selangor, the run that really caught the eye was drawn 15 out of 16. He was absolutely flying when a length behind a champion juvenile in Cousin Casey, and although he's poorly drawn here, it's going to be a nice patient ride by Keegan de Mello. But I'm hoping that it is, a confident ride as well, not a conservative ride with a concern whether he's going to get this 1800 meters. Give him a chance from the draw, but ride him like he sees out the distance. And I think if he does just that, he should win this number 11, At My Command. So he's an exciting horse for the rest of the season. He does take on some very, very good 3-year-olds here, but I think on his form lines, he should be good enough to win. Race number 7, the Politician Stakes, Group 3 over 1800 meters. So those are the 2 runners at Kenilworth. Then we move along to Turffontein, and I've picked out 3 runners at Turffontein. In race number 2, we're starting off our day with number 2, Cape Lights. Now, for some, she may be frustrating, even costly to follow. If you've gone for her in the past, she's at 5 places from 6 starts. She's finished 3rd at the last 3 starts, always just finding one better on the day. But the strength of her form line is what grabs me here, because when you look at her last start, Pomazelis, Joe Somers runner has come out to win. Midnight Crystal for Sean Terry has come out to win. There's been a subsequent winner in Lady Regent, who has since won again for Candice Dawson. So her form lines are looking good. Her last start over 1,800 meters, well, she raced up handy. She hit the front. She looked like she was going to win it. That was in the maiden ranks, and she just failed. She was beaten over a length, but the fact is she just tired at the business end of the race. So 1,600 meters from a good draw. Looking at her opposition, yeah, again, you know, there's some horses that could threaten, but it's long overdue, and I think she will be duly rewarded here. Race 2, number 2, Cape Lights. Then I said 3 runners. The next of our 3 runners at Turffontein comes up in race number 6. Now, this is the Swallow Stakes. It's a listed race of 1160, and it's for 3-year-olds. Now, the runner, I think, will be a lot of value in this field. It's called Kiss Me Captain. Now, she started off her career with an absolute bang, winning her first 3 races. She then ran second, and there were valid excuses that day. It was reported that she was bumped, and she was cut into as well, I see. So, you know, under those circumstances, she ran an absolute blinder to just be beaten by half a length by Flower Bomb. And then last time out, well, she was punted to start favorite in the Group 3 Magnolia handicap. And I did an interview with Adam Azzi prior to the running of that race, and he was very confident of her putting in a bold performance. He was confident of her putting in a winning performance, and obviously something went amiss with her. I don't know what it was. She ran to a point like she usually does, you know, with the early pace and speed, and then she just was eased out of the race by jockey Diego de Gavea. Now, you're going to have to ignore and just forgive her for that run. Whatever the reason was for her, you know, running as poorly as she did, that is obviously not Kiss Me Captain that we know. In the best weighted column, which is usually a guide as well, it's quite early in these fillies' careers, but it is a guide. You'd think that she has some work to do if you look at the ratings and where she's positioned. She's positioned 5th in the best weighted column, but I'm hoping that she can just prove me right and show that she's a decent sprinting 3-year-old filly, number 6, Kiss Me Captain. And I'm going on her best form, and on her best form she'll have a serious chance of winning this. And whilst it's a highly competitive race, you're sure to get a decent price about her as well, number 6, Kiss Me Captain. And then there's one more runner at Turffontein, and it comes up in the lucky last, which is race number 8 over 1,800 meters. It's Celestial City, and he is a talking horse because of his champion mother, his champion siblings, and of course his price tag as well. He cost 7 million rand, and thus far he's shown promise, but you think that he's still got a long way to go to achieve the heights of his siblings. But let's give him a chance. You know, you can't fault his form to date. He was a winner on debut. His post-maiden run, he's at 2 seconds. What's the distance? It's been 1,600 and 1,800 meters. And I'm hoping that, you know, the reason that he started off, for whatever reason he started off his career this late, he's still very early in his racing career, and he'll have time to strengthen up, to mature, and there's plenty of room for just him to improve as a racehorse. Number 1, Celestial City. This will be a good test for him. He's carrying 60 kgs, but he's drawn 1, and I think the stand-side track 1,800 meters is going to suit him ideally. When you look at his rating of a 74, I'll take a stance and a bold stance and say that a 74 is still too low for him. He's going to achieve much higher than a 74 in his career. It's still early days for this beautifully bred son of Silvano, and we'll see how he goes on Sunday in race number 8, Celestial City. Hopefully he can end off things on a high. Well, I mentioned it is a busy week for World Sports Betting leading up to the Met. Well, there's lots happening on World Sports Betting. You just have to go to the betting menu and you'll see everything is there. The card is out, obviously, and the betting is up. For a promotion, they're giving you 20% back in free bets up to 100,000 rand. That's a World Sports Betting Cape Met promotion. You've got the cart call that's coming up on Thursday as well. I think it's at 6 o'clock, where you're going to get the best prices in town. And there's lots of build-up leading up to one of the premier races on the South African racing calendar. And we wish our sponsor, World Sports Betting, all the best in the build-up, and wish them a highly successful race day as well. To all our punters out there, as always, thanks to all the punters. But more importantly, and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. Until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gaush.